Welcome back, friends. If you haven't been here before, I am Susan Clifton and I live in the South Florida area. So I aspire to help people of all skill levels to create art. I really think that it is a wonderful practice that everyone should do. It's very good for the mind. This is an extension of last week's video where I created some stencils based on some inspiration that I took from a recent cruise. So let's take those stencils and let's create some Gelli prints. Let's get started. As you can see, I have my stencils here. Now on this circle one, what I did was, I didn't like the hard edge, and since I only have a small Cricut, the Cricut Joy, and I have a big Gelli plate, I wanted to be able to have these almost kind of be seamless with very little in between, you know, something like this where you can't really tell that it's not a continuous large stencil. And then of course I've cut out my individual organic shapes that we're going to layer on top. So I'm thinking we're going to make first we'll make a single sheet of just a solid color, and we're going to work in neutrals to start, and then neutrals and various shades of sort of very transparent white. I'm going to try to get a transparent white by adding an acrylic glazing liquid to titanium white. Let's see what that does. I'm going to add just a tiny, like a drop of violet oxide. We're gonna, just to get sort of a beigey color. Let's see if that works. So I'd like to mention that I'm working with an 8x10 Gelli plate, and I think that's a 6-inch Brayer. Ooh, that's pretty. It's just a pretty base color. Okay. So now I'm going to lay down my circles. And I'm going to try to squeeze some black . And I'm going to take that same sheet and we're going to lay the dots. Because on my inspiration, it had dark dotted pattern in the background. So far, it's working. All right, so now I'm going to choose a more transparent white. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the glaze. And I'm going to mix that together. I think my Brayer is dirty, and that's why I'm going to use this other one. I want to get a nice thin coat. Now, these were my negative pieces that I created those other shapes from. So let's see if we can get some interesting thing going on here. I'm going to overlap them a little bit. Now we're going to print on top and hopefully get those nice organic shapes with some transparency. Not quite dark enough, but we're going to keep going. So maybe what I'll do, I kind of like this ghost print. It's a little interesting. Let's see what happens if we lay this on top. I'm still working with just one piece of paper. And a lot of this is just experimenting. And we're just going to keep layering on top of this. I'm going to go back to that combo color that I started with. Okay, so here we go again. We're going to go back to that nice, I like this variation of color that I'm getting. Smooth this out a bit. Now, we're going to take these shapes that I created. We're just going to randomly place them. Let's just get it really completely random, not giving it a whole lot of thought. That's kind of interesting, maybe a little too opaque, but I like it. All right, let's try another one. If you like these types of videos, please consider giving me a thumbs up. It really helps a lot, and subscribe to my channel. Since we already have paint here, I'm gonna lift it, see what happens. See if we can get all this paint off. This might inspire us to do something a little bit different. I like that. All right, so now I want to put some dots on top of this, I think. Them overlap in the middle. I think that might be interesting. And I'm going to use a different color this time. I'm going to use alizarin crimson hue. I think it'll be a pretty, it's dark, but it's has a little bit more color to it, a little bit of transparency to it, and it might look really nice on top of that ghost print we just made. Okay, I am going to put this back down again. And this time I'm going to lighten it. So I'm going to add a little white with that. And I'm going to leave this variegated color. I'm just going to be really sloppy about it. Leave it. And I'm going to be a little more careful when I lift the plate. Lift this off the plate. Oh, I think that's going to be pretty. And I'm going to try to flip this. I can't remember which way I had it. But you know, there are no mistakes with this. You just keep experimenting and you layer and you figure out how things sort of interact with each other. But sometimes you don't get the results you're expecting. You just don't know what's going to happen. I kind of like that. Now I wish I had more of a color underneath and maybe a brighter pink on top. So let's try that. Let's try to show some of that through some of these organic shapes. Let's just really lay down a bunch of them. Let's overlap them. And let me see if I can find, oh, I have this nice primary magenta. So let's try that. Now this is very different than our inspiration, but it was more of the shapes that I was interested in, and I'm not a neutral color person. I'm just not inspired by neutral colors, but the shapes are what I was really loving. So I've been playing around with these pink colors and these magenta colors because I'm planning a collage of a flamingo. And I'm going to need some dark shades, some light shades, some very pink. This is probably a little too busy for my flamingo, but I've been playing with these colors a lot. Let's try a brighter magenta. This is a quinacridone magenta. I'm going to lay this down first. I'm going to do this differently. See if I can get this to come out. Might be getting down to the bottom. Oh no. Almost gone. No, I don't have enough. See, that's what I was afraid of. You either get too much or you're going to get enough. So let's spread this out. And see, it's just coming off. It's not even. Jeez. All right, let's put more. Oh, I hate to use it all. Anyway. I don't know why it's behaving like this. Probably my brayer. Maybe it's got too much. Anyway, let's just see what that does. Hey, happy accidents, right? Let's go with it. You always have to like press into those little openings. Make sure you get all the paint. And we didn't. I think that paint is like really dried up. Just see if we can get it off the plate. We can't even get it off the plate. Okay, I'm going to try something a little bold, I think, because I don't want to waste this. I kind of like this, what ended up coming out of my trying to just clean the plate. So I'm going to add some black. Again, I'm going to keep it sloppy. And I'm going to just try to pick up some black, see what it does. Oh, I'm making a mess today. I am very happy with that. Let's see if we can pick up some of this black off the plate. Love that. I'm going to leave that one alone because I think I just want to leave that one alone. Okay, so I'm going to start now with a little bit, I'm hoping that we pick up some of this black. We might. I'm going to start with this. And I'm just going to do a plain sheet to start with. Now I have no plan here. I'm just gonna wing it. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. Let's just try something. Okay, we have a nice rich color and a little bit of that black is showing. So to go with a lighter color on top of that, oh, here I am with this magenta that I keep trying to use, but I'm gonna mix this with a little bit of white. Hopefully that's not too much. Put some of these lighter dots down. My stencils are getting very gunked up with paint. Let's really get in there to all the circles. Oh, how beautiful is that? I love that. Well, first we have to clean this up, so let's see. I said I wasn't going to use this, but I'm going to... Ooh. I know that I like this the way it is, but I'm going to try to pick up some of this. Let's just see. Oh, it just keeps getting better. See what I mean by layering? It just keeps getting better. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the alizarin crimson hue. I think. I'm going to go back to our organic shapes. This time I'm going to leave them separate. Right, got one more I want to stick over here, and one more over here. And now we're going to go on top of this. So we started out dark, we went a little lighter, and now we're going back to dark. And hopefully I didn't ruin it, because it was pretty. And you just never know. No, I like it. I like it a lot. I wish you could see the colors. The light is not so good here today. You know, I'm doing this in front of a really big window that is usually very, very bright. And today is the gray. It's a gray day here in South Florida. All right, we're gonna start to go a little brighter. So I have only one working brayer today. The other one is so dirty, and it's going to take hours to soak it. So we're just going to deal with what we have today. Okay, that was just a ghost print that I was picking up, cleaning up off the plate. Let us keep going with this because I like it. Adding some white. Well, maybe we'll just do the circles again. Got to roll it out first, and it's probably going to have a little bit of yellow, but that's fine. Maybe I put a little too much white. Oh, I like what's happening here. I'm going to leave a little bit of space this time, do something different. I had too much paint on the plate, so I got, but I like the design. I'm going to see if I have some other unfinished looking something to pick this up with. This is kind of something that looks a little unfinished to me anyway. I wasn't happy with it. I'm probably still not going to be happy with it. But this is more of a rice paper, so it might clean off the plate nicely. No, still not really picking up. Oh, I did get something though. I actually like that better now. I do like that better. It's a little more subtle, some of those colors. I could use that in a collage for sure. I'm going to let this dry because this residue makes the next thing that we do a little more interesting. All right, let's see. What color should we start with? Let's do something bright. We'll use this as our base color. Starting over. Glad I didn't clean up that plate. We got a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. Interesting. All right, so let's layer our organic shapes again on top of that. I don't think we need the dots. I am going to layer it down first. Let's overlap this time. And let's do a little bit of yellow on top of that. Let's see if this will work. And I'm going to do a really sloppy, I don't want to cover the whole plate, just spots. Oh, so sorry. Okay, let's lift this up. Put this over. Interesting. Not finished, but interesting. All right, so let's put a little bit of orange on top of that. I'm going to go back to these. We'll go this way. And we're going to put it Paroli orange. Again, over this. Oh wow, that's fun. That is a lot of fun. I think it needs a little bit of white now, but just a touch of white. I don't know, maybe not. It needs something. Let's look at this. It needs something, or maybe it doesn't. I like it though. Maybe we should layer a little bit of that turquoise, make it a little bit darker, or a little green, maybe a little bit more. Maybe if we do some green gold, because green gold is already very transparent. I'm going to lay these back down again. Slightly different this time. You can see how transparent this is. It's very transparent. And I didn't cover the entire thing. So let's see what happens now. Yep. It's very subtle, but it's there, and I'm loving it. It needed a couple more layers. That's exactly what it needed. Okay, I'm doing one more, but this is a really long video, so I'm going to just speed this one up. And this one, I'm going to use my masks and create my first sheet. And I'm going to lift those up just to get the ghost print, actually. I'm going to put some yellow on top. Pull the ghost print. And now I'm going to use a combo of those masks again and an older mask from about a year ago. That's one of my favorite. And I like the way this came out. Okay, so here's what we ended up with. Some of it is a hot mess and some of it I really like. So this was really me trying to do my inspiration, which I think is a fail, but most of it is a fail because those particular shades are not naturally transparent. And so it was pretty hard to, to get that sort of transparency. But I might still be able to use this for something. I'm not a big fan of neutrals. I really do like bright colors, so anyway, that was me attempting to follow my inspiration. Then, we switched over to some brighter colors. In this case, we put circles twice on top of each other and then used our masks to add a layer on top of that. This one was started out as a cleanup sheet, and I love it. Probably because I added some black to it. Black, when you add black and you're adding drama, and I think this is a great color combination, and I can most definitely use this at some point. And this also, I love. I don't know if you could see these colors, the detail in there. So we started out with a dark background. We layered a lighter combination of, I think it was a magenta and a white, and then we added the alizarin crimson on top, which is transparent, allowing us to see some of those circles underneath. So I'm very happy with the way this came out. This is kind of like the inspiration, but in a different color. And also this, very mid-century modern, isn't it? I love the layering that happened here. Again, it was an accident. We started out with the teal background and it was picking up some of the white from the plate, which I wasn't even sure it was going to do, but it did. I'm happy with that. And it was like circles on top of circles, so we've got these really sort of organic circle shapes. And then, of course, our masks on top of that and our transparent green gold. And then this, wow, I just love this. I think this was also 3 layers. I should have used less paint on the white. As you could see, it's like very thick and gloppy. But maybe if I had, wiped it off a little bit more, it would have been better, but I'm still very happy with this. The white, for some reason, even has an iridescent quality to it, and I don't know why. And then this was one of the last ones I decided to try, along with my other mask that I created on Procreate some time ago, which is still one of my favorite shapes. I love it. Anyway, great layering. I'll put this one on top because I think it's my favorite. Maybe it's because it's got the teal. Probably because of the teal color. I am just drawn to teal, if you haven't noticed. But anyway, thanks for stopping by today. I hope this inspired you to get a Cricut, maybe try learning Procreate, because you can create your own shapes and then cut them out as stencils. And you could hand cut them too. You don't have to have a Cricut. Again, my favorite. See you next time. And don't forget, create, inspire, and share. Bye-bye.